Hi, this is Kathy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the personal budget spreadsheet and chart. This is what the budget spreadsheet is going to look like when you're done. And here's the chart. And here's the spreadsheet unformatted. When you start a sheet, you need to name it. So the name will show up here above the menu bar. In cell A1, we have some text, monthly budget. All these labels in column A, these are all text, and text defaults to line up on the left side of the cell, and numbers line up on the right side of the cell. This text right here, I align these by the right. Here's the alignment button right here, and I chose right. Okay, now I'm going to format the text in cell A1, monthly budget, as 18 points. This is the font size right here. Click the font size arrow and come down and choose the size that you'd like. And the default font is Arial. I'm going to leave it at Arial, and I'm going to choose bold, and I'm going to give it some color. This is the font color button. The bar under this A indicates the color of the text. So right now it's black. I click the font color arrow, and then this is red. So these are different shades of red. So they go from light to dark. Now I'm going to merge some cells. I'm going to merge cells A1 through B1. Just move your mouse over the cells and drag. On your toolbar, this is the Merge Cells command. When I click off of it, now you see that this is one cell instead of being two cells. Next, I'm going to format the labels in row 2 with bold, so I select them. I choose B for bold. And I want to put a border line above and below the cells. This is the borders button right here. It does not have a border option with a line above and below, so you have to do those separately. So here's a bottom border and here's a top border. So notice how this is formatted now with those borders, top and bottom. These labels in column A, these are labeled as categories, or they could be expenses right here. Column B has money that you spent for each of these expenses for last year, and then column C has the items for this year. Now I'm going to show you how to format these numbers in columns B and C. This is normally what a number would look like when you type it in. So if you want a dollar sign in front of it, you want to choose a currency format. So this is the currency format right here on the toolbar, %. This allows you to decrease decimal places, increase them, and this is the drop-down menu. And it shows you like what a number format looks like, what a currency looks like. Notice currency has a dollar sign, a comma if the number's over 1,000, and 2 decimal places. So if I click that now, the numbers I had selected will be formatted with that format. I'm going to type the word total in cell A14, and you can press Enter or Tab to move the insertion point out of the cell, or you can use your mouse. Now I'm going to show you how to use the sum function to total up the numbers in column B. So first you need to click in column B, and you can type the formula in. Every formula starts with an equal sign, so you would type equals sum, and then a parenthesis, and then you can highlight the cells with your mouse, and notice it puts the range right here, and notice the color of the text in the range and the background here, same color. And then, and this is called an argument, the range here, it has to be in a parenthesis. And when you put a formula in a cell, when you're done entering the formula, an answer shows in the cell. I'm going to click back in the cell, and up here in the formula bar, you can see the formula. Another way to use a function is over here on with the functions button. You click this down arrow, and then you can choose a function. Sum is a function, and so it puts that in the cell for you, so you don't have to type the equal sum, and the cursor's in between the parentheses, so you can select the information there, and then you can press Enter. Then you can do the same thing for this column. However, there's another way that might be easier. You can select the range, click the Functions button, and then click Sum. If you have a lot of columns that you want to add, it might be easier to copy the formula. So the way you do that, you click in a cell that has a formula, and you grab this little square here, this little fill handle, and you just drag it over, and it will copy the formula. When you double click in a cell that has a formula, Google Sheets will show you the range that is used in this formula. In column D, we're going to insert a formula that will show if your expenses have increased or decreased this year. And we're going to, it will show as a percent. We're going to click in cell D3, start your formula with an equal sign. We're going to subtract B3 from C3 and then divide that by B3. So we have to tell Google Sheets which math to do first. And if you put something in parentheses, it's going to do that before division. So equals and parenthesis C3 minus B3. And notice as I'm typing, the cell addresses that I type display in color in the formula, and also you see some color in the cells. Close the parenthesis, type the division sign, and then B3. So there's the formula right there. And press enter, and there's your number right there. And again, I could type this for the formula for all these guys here, but that would take too long. So I'm going to grab this fill handle, and I'm going to drag it down. Google Sheets is smart enough to know that when I move the formula down to change the row number. So if I double click in this cell, notice that the formula is C5 minus B5 divided by B5 instead of what it was up here, C3 minus B3 divided by B3. Now I'm going to format these as percents. Select them, click Format as Percent on the toolbar, and there you go. So now you can see that your housing costs increased by 20%, your auto transportation fees 20%, etc. You spent less money on entertainment this year. Now we're going to format the range A14 through D14 as bold, blue font, and a border below the cells. So select the cells, click the bold button, choose blue text, and we want a border below the cells. Here's the borders button. In row 16, cell A1, you're going to type take-home pay, and then we're going to assume that last year you earned $3,500 and this year $3,800. And I do want to see what that percentage is, so I can copy this guy down. This is an error because it's trying to do math with these empty cells, so we can just delete that. And now I'm going to format these with green. Let's try dark green 1, bold. When I copied this formula down, it put a bottom border here, so I'm just going to get rid of it. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to clear the border, and unfortunately it removes this border up here, but that's okay. I can just click in that cell, and I can choose bottom border. Now these two numbers need to be formatted with currency, so I can click on the currency button on the toolbar. In cell A17, I'm going to type net sales and in parentheses loss. Then I'm going to press the tab key to go to the next cell, and I'm going to enter a formula to figure out if my take-home pay was more or less than my expenses. So we're going to put a formula, equals, and we're going to type B16 minus B14. Now I can click in this B14 cell instead of typing it, and then press enter. So I actually had a little bit of money left over from the previous year, and then I'm going to copy this formula, and I had a little bit of money left from the current year. I'm going to format this text as bold. I'm going to leave the text black, and I'm going to put a border above and below the cells. So I have all the cells selected. Here's the borders button. And again, I have to do it in 2 steps, above and below. And let's copy this formula down to find out the percentage. And let's also make that bold and black. Now I'm going to show you how to resize columns. For instance, this text in D2 doesn't fit very well. If you point to the top of column D and you double click, that's called best fit. And Google Sheets will look at the longest entry in the column and resize that column for you. You also can move your mouse to the end of the column and just drag in or out. When you move your mouse to a column, you get this down arrow and then you click it, and then you see you have these different options right here of things that you can do. You can resize columns right here. Fit to date is the same thing I just did by double clicking. You can do the same thing with rows. You can resize them. When you increase the size of text in a row, the row automatically gets bigger. So when this text was increased to 18 points, notice that that row got larger by itself. Now I'm going to show you how to make a chart. To make a chart, you select the data that you would like to chart, then you click Insert Chart on the toolbar and choose your chart. The range for the chart is A2 through C13. A2 through C13. You can drag down in a diagonal manner. Notice that I'm not selecting any of the totals. That would throw off the chart, and we don't need this increase or decrease. That might be more appropriate if you were doing a pie chart. Okay, so we have some labels. We have some labels here, and we have 2 columns of numbers. Click Insert, Chart. These are some recommended charts here. You can also click Charts here. So this shows a variety of charts. There's 3 tabs up here. On the Start tab, it shows the range that you selected. Notice right here it says Use Row 2 as headers. That's important because that's where we have the text, and we do want those to be headers. Here's a bar chart. We're going to click Bar Chart. A bar chart is like a column chart, just turned sideways. I'm going to click the Customize tab, and in here I can enter a chart title. I'm going to type Monthly Expenses. Over here, this is a legend. So it says a legend's on the right. Typically you'll see a legend on the right or at the bottom, but there's other options in here. Let's choose bottom. Okay, so here's our categories here, and then here's our dollar amounts. On a column chart, that would usually be reversed. So in the Customize tab, you can change the font, you can choose a background color, etc. If you'd like to put a title for your horizontal or vertical axis, you can do that here. So the horizontal axis would be down here. I'm going to give a title for the vertical axis, so that's going to display right here, and I'm going to call it Categories. If you'd like to give your chart a background, you can do it right here. Right now the background's white. These are different shades of gray. So let's say I want light gray 1. If I choose light gray 2, notice it's a little bit lighter. Down towards the bottom in the Customize tab, you can change the color of the bars. So let's say you want to change the blue bars to purple. There's the blue bar. You would click it and then choose purple. Now I'm going to change this year to orange, and then you click Update. Now if you needed to go back and edit your chart, you can come over here and click this arrow, and then you have some options right here. If you want to move it to its own sheet, this is good because sometimes you want it on its own sheet. But if you click Advanced Edit, it'll take you back and it'll allow you to do the Customize and then choose a different chart type or go back to the starting option. Okay, and then when you're done, you click Update, and now you can move the chart. When you move your mouse on the chart, when you see that little hand, that's the Move tool. So I'm going to put it right under the data. When you click it, it has this white area at the top, and that's what you want to use to grab it. Now I'm going to resize it. You can point to any of one of the borders, and when you see that double-headed arrow, that's the Resize tool, and then click off it when you're done. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.